Yoo-hoo, and thanks for tuning in to another awful movie review.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
This is part 3 of this series on bad giant monster movies. Wow, already? Time goes by fast. I find the concept of twin movies to be very interesting. Two films with very similar plots, released in a close proximity of time, but by different studios. And while Earth vs. the Spider was released a good 3 years after Jack Arnold's Tarantula, I personally consider the first to be a twin film of the cult classic John Agar flick. As a matter of fact, this is another of Bert I. Gordon's bad, cheesy giant monster movies, and it feels like, leftovers from Tarantula, let's put it that way. Sloppy seconds if you ask me. Those who didn't have enough money to get into the theater and watch Tarantula, they had this crud instead.
Besides, I'm broke.
But before we get into creepy crawly territory, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment for a bad giant monster movie request. And if you value what I do and you want to help support me, please check out my Patreon in the description below.
Anything else on your mind?
Since the heart has a yearning for the unknown, if you're interested in unanswered stories of UFOs visiting Earth, bone-chilling evidence of paranormal activity, or some of the most famous murder cases gone cold, then head over to the podcast Weird Darkness, sponsoring this video. You'll find all sorts of ghoulish, blood-curdling, and most of all fascinating stories of the macabre 7 days a week. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or go directly to their website using the description down below. The film is set in a happy-go-lucky small American town where life is just good. Everyone's dream town. Apart from the high schoolers who, over there, have been held back quite a few years now. How terrible are these kids, really? I mean, actor Ed Kemmer, who plays Art, was 37 years old at the time.
I can't quite appreciate the humor in it myself.
Anyway, another problem with this town is that unfortunately, there's a giant spider living reclusively in Bronson Canyon. This beast clearly does not want to be disturbed and goes as far as posting a sign in front of the cave. Maybe it's the way he saw his little friend being bullied by the townspeople that pushed him into being an outcast. If I were a spider, I'd be pissed off too.
I've had it.
But when Carol's father goes missing, she and Art go searching for him in that very cave, and that's when they meet that horrifying creature. Who knew spiders sounded like living dead with severe asthma? Earth vs. the Spider is one of Bert I. Gordon's better films, if you ask me.
So what? You know it doesn't mean a thing?
But that's not setting the bar very high. He even found a way to self-promote with this one, as Art's father runs a theater, and they're showing The Amazing Colossal Man as well as Attack of the Puppet People as a double feature. Another Bert I. Gordon stinker released the same year as this.
Something about puppet people. It sounds pretty wild.
What a bright future, kid.
You've got plenty to live up to.
This does suffer from obvious cheesiness. The spider's giant web looks too much like a big net of rope, and no matter how much the movie tries to pass this off as some sort of giant spider web, I just keep seeing pieces of rope.
I can't say for sure without having it analyzed, but...
Just like in Tarantula, they used a real spider here, which oddly changes sizes during the film. They stun the creature once, for example, and have the bright idea to bring it back to town and shove it in the corner of the class gymnasium. But then when it wakes up again and runs amok in the city, all of a sudden the spider is way bigger than a whole house. And let us not forget the absolutely terribly cheap shots of the spider becoming transparent for no apparent reasons.
You know what we eggheads are like, Sheriff. We want to know why this, how come that, what about the other. That's a matter of scientific interest to find out what made that creature tick.
That, my friends, we shall never know.
No, sirree.
The self-proclaimed egghead here forgets about his own idea pretty quickly, and so it remains a mystery still to this day. How did the spider get that big? Well, the movie sure doesn't seem to know itself.
Well, if you want to do it, go ahead. But leave me out. It's not my job, and I don't want any part of it.
Now, believe it or not, this 72-minute movie needed more continuity. So what do Carol and Art do? They go back into the cave to find the bracelet Carol's father was planning to give her as a present. How unbelievably stupid of them.
I know it isn't true, not this time.
They were really begging for continuity at this point. So our so-called teens make an idiotic decision and then come to regret it when they find themselves lost in that cave.
What did I tell you? There have been people through here before.
Yeah, looks like he's seen better days.
I just remembered I've got a candy bar with me.
Can I have some too? In order to add more continuity to an already lacking and dragging script, the town sheriff decides to blow up the spider's cave with Carol and Art inside, only to then realize that they have to undo everything they just did in order to save their lives.
Well, then we better start clearing it away.
By the time they finally kill this giant spider once and for all, after a quadrillion amount of failed attempts,
That's what you said last time.
Now, this time it's for sure.
my mouth was drooling, and I was just eager to get this ridiculous piece of science fiction horror over with. Apart from some decent special effects, mostly, Earth vs. the Spider is a nothing burger. There isn't much to chow down on here, so I would recommend you guys just squish this stinker right out of your watch list. What an awful movie.